Kia ora, ko Stephanie, tuka ingoa, haere mai, welcome to Adaptive Go. Today I'm here to talk about giving you an update on my Garmin Fenix success. I really like this watch. It's been fantastic for helping me to manage my health condition. It gives me a lot of extra information to help with things like pacing, understanding sleep and how much I've had and whether I've had enough, and looking at stress, all those sorts of things which when you have an autoimmune condition are really important for helping you to stay on top of it and manage it. So while it's really good at helping me manage my health condition, it is a wearable and wearables aren't perfect. So let me give you a quick run through of the things that I've found really useful and the things that are not so great. The thing that I really love about the Garmin Fenix success is the body battery. I think this is a really good initiative, and I really rely on it and I use it a lot of the time. It seems very consistent with my own take on what my total sort of body battery energy is, and so thinking about what my subjective take is and then what the subjective data or the objective data is telling you in the watch is really useful. I use this body battery for pacing. So if I wake up and I look at my body battery and it's a bit crappy, then I know that I should adjust my day. But sometimes, if I've got lots on, I'll tend to ignore my subjective feelings and just get on with it anyway. So it's really good having this objective data just to sort of give you another red flag or a flag that, hey, things might not be going so great today and you need to pace more. And also you can watch the body battery through the day, and if you're really overcooking it, it will slide quite quickly and let you know that you're really overdoing your pacing. So the body battery is made up of heart rate variability, stress, and the amount of activity you've been doing. It is worth noting that in the Garmin system, it doesn't include sleep, so that could be something that might sort of help improve the quality of the body battery if it could just incorporate that sleep reading, so that then if you're already starting out with bad sleep, even without the sleep being incorporated, it's really good reading that helps me to manage my pacing, and I find it really useful. In terms of sleep cycle and blood oxygen level, I'm not sure that the wearables are worth it if you're looking at it for an accuracy point of view. The wearables on your wrist, they move. You have your arm tucked in or wherever, or resting funny, and it puts pressure on your wearable and it moves it off your skin. Even if you have it so tight that the wearable is marking your skin, it will, in embedding, it will still move off your wrist in your sleep. So that movement really affects the accuracy of the readings. So this sort of accuracy when you're sleeping and it moving off your skin became really obvious to me when I first had the watch and I tried just using my normal splint, because I have to wear these splints on my hands at night to sort of rest my tendons and make sure that I don't pull them in the wrong direction and things like that. And I had to get a splint made so that it would sit better across the watch. And when I did this, the quality of the readings did improve, but in spite of even the splint provides quite a lot of support for the watch and stops a lot of movement. But even with that, it's still moving around. So the watch shows that I have sleep apnea. I spoke with my GP and we had a referral to a sleep specialist, because the health condition that I have causes fatigue, and if sleep apnea is one factor that I could limit or reduce, then it was worth exploring to see if it would make me feel better. So we went to a sleep specialist, and she referred me on for a medical grade sleep test, and that sleep test found that I didn't really have a problem. And while that sleep test was just done on one night, it is possible that my watch could be correct, but I think it's highly unlikely. And the sleep specialist said that they see more people coming through with wearables now that have sleep apnea, or that the wearables show that they have sleep apnea, and they're just not seeing the same results through the medical tests. So the blood oxygen level and the sleep cycles I'm not so sure about, but the watch is really useful for understanding how long you've slept. I find it quite interesting for it to give me some insight into REM and deep sleep, but I take that with a grain of salt. But what is interesting is the length of time and just tracking that you've had a good night's sleep. The watch gives you a sleep score, and so that's quite useful for understanding. And I think all of us undervalue the amount of sleep that we need. Check that out in an earlier sleep video that I've done with the lovely Sarah. I just wanted to show you some of the readings that you can see that the Garmin Fenix have been tracking around sleep. And so you can see that the sleep apnea drops off through these graphs. And then this is the medical grade test result. And so you can see that there isn't really an issue with sleep apnea. So I guess at the end of the day, if you're interested in sleep, a wearable is good and is useful, but it's got its limitations, and it's important to understand that. But I think what's most useful is that the wearable can show you that maybe there's something worth exploring and checking further. However, I still find the sleep information useful. You just have to keep it in context. So on to something a little more fun, the skiing and exercise apps on the watch. They're quite useful. There's a step count, but also you can click over and highlight whether the exercise you're doing is walking or whether it's skiing or whatever. I do quite like all the information that it gives you. It's really useful, particularly skiing. It's great to be able to finish your ski run when you're sitting down at the cafe and sort of say, oh, hey, I got up to, 30 kilometres an hour or 40 kilometres an hour or whatever it was, and it sort of tracks your altitude and those sorts of things, and it knows when you're on your chairlift and when you're resting and things. So I think all that's really good, but I think what I miss, or what would be really good, particularly when you're in those environments where your watch is quite hidden, because it's cold or wet or whatever, like skiing, is whether the watch could tell that you're at altitude and then kind of flick and sense the motion that you're doing and then flick into the ski mode, because you have to do it manually and tell it. I didn't really use the ski maps when I was out skiing because I'm a bit of a nanner and I have glasses and I just don't carry them. I did have a look back at the cafe, so you could track. It sort of showed you what runs you'd skied. I don't know if I would be able to use it if I got lost. I'd be like, ugh. So in summary, I really like the Garmin Fenix 6S watch. I wear it all the time. I find it really useful for helping me to manage my condition and just give me a little bit more information about what's working or what else I might need to do. I would recommend the Garmin Fenix 6S, and I think if you have a chronic health condition, it's worth exploring and seeing if it can help you. Remember to subscribe and follow my journey as I find different ways to adapt and go to live a free and full life. So subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Ka kite.